The gaming companies we seem to like seem to be getting fewer and fewer these days. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video game companies that are hated by the fans. Okay, for this list, we'll be looking at the various video game companies that, for one reason or another, have garnered a large amount of backlash from gamers over the years. For the record, some of these companies we actually really like, but we can't ignore the fact that they have a lot of skeletons in the closet.
Yo, Meat Slab, you coming, man? I got eyes on max security, but COV's heading my way.
Number 10, Gearbox Software. The Borderlands series is great. No one is disputing that, but Gearbox has had quite a controversial past and we just can't ignore it. The company faced a lot of flack in 2011 for Duke Nukem Forever, which many people consider to be one of the most disappointing video games ever made. Of course, it wasn't entirely Gearbox's fault since they picked up development, but hey, they were responsible for the final product. Things got even worse with the Aliens Colonial Marines debacle. They allegedly lied to Sega about the development process, outsourcing most of it, and was sued in a class action lawsuit for misrepresenting the game at trade shows. And there's a lot we can say about its CEO, Randy Pitchford, as well. Oh, and the total collapse of Battleborn didn't help much either. Number 9, Atari. Just hearing the name Atari is enough to fill brains with warm nostalgic memories of blocky 8-bit graphics, looping music, and the glory days of the early 80s. And then the industry crashed in 1983, and guess who the culprit was? And while the causes are complex and numerous, Atari's infamous ET was a major contributor. Atari Inc. was done for, but the Atari brand name lived on. Granted, they've had some great success stories since then, but in recent years they've gone from bad to worse. First of all, this is supposed to be their modern retake on Asteroids. Remember that game? And what they've done to Alone in the Dark speaks for itself. And now Atari is building hotels. Yeah, they're building hotels.
Imagine just how cool it will be to stay inside an Atari. Now, with the nostalgia of Atari and popularity of esports in Las Vegas, our city is a game changer.
Number 8, Blizzard. It's amazing how quickly the tide can turn. After all, this was the company that was once the name for MMORPGs and RTSs. But things have turned really dire for Blizzard in recent years. First, there was the controversial reveal for Diablo Immortal in 2018 as their main announcement at BlizzCon.
Authentic Diablo gameplay at your fingertips.
The following year, they banned Hearthstone player Blitzchung for supporting the Hong Kong protests. This in itself caused a backlash of epic proportions, with even prominent American politicians calling on Blizzard to reverse the ban. And now in 2020, the controversial release of Warcraft 3 Reforged has led that title to have the worst user-rated score on Metacritic. 3 years ago, we wouldn't have even considered Blizzard to be on a list like this, but look where we are now. What the hell, guys? You're Blizzard, you're supposed to be legendary. Jesus.
Here at BlizzCon and alongside the rest of this incredible Blizzard community.
Number 7, Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment.
He appears to be standing beside a burning bat symbol, sir. It might be wise to establish whether this interloper is friend or foe.
The gaming arm of Warner Brothers have done a lot of damage to their brand throughout the years. One prominent issue is its over-reliance on monetization practices and pre-order bonuses, sometimes even announcing the pre-order bonus on the day of the game's announcement. And they can get really carried away. Like, for example, they made 6 retail exclusive pre-order bonuses for LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. As for the former, things like the aggressive implementation of loot boxes in Middle-earth Shadow of War drew enormous controversy. And who could forget the time they violated Federal Trade Commission guidelines by locking review codes of Shadow of Mordor behind brand deals, and wouldn't allow reviewers to disclose bugs or glitches. Oh, and how about when they outsourced the development of Batman Arkham Knight on PC, resulting in that infamously buggy version.
Dark days are here, Batman. The prophecy has come true.
Number 6, Epic Games. Epic has been a mainstay in the gaming industry for some time. They've developed iconic franchises like Unreal, Gears of War, and Fortnite, and its Unreal Engine has become an industry staple for over 20 years. Unfortunately, Epic has earned many disparaging remarks recently for its Epic Games Store, which was created to combat Steam's monopoly on the PC market. This has not gone over well, with fans constantly getting outraged at the storefront sweeping up timed exclusivity deals. However, despite the aggressive backlash, the boycotts didn't seem to work. In its first year alone, the store drew in over 100 million new customers and grossed $680 million in sales, which for comparison was about 60% greater than what Epic had originally forecast. Number 5. Microsoft.
We have a great partnership with Microsoft and with Double. Yo! Go ahead!
Microsoft has admittedly been on a successful apology tour in recent years. The Xbox brand is doing some exciting things, particularly its newfound partnership with the PC market. But there is no denying that this past generation was a tough one. While the Xbox 360 was a monumental success, even that had some difficulty, primarily the infamous Red Ring of Death, or their mishandling of Rare. But then they botched the Xbox One reveal and they never really recovered from that disaster. Even as this console generation comes to a close, its exclusives pitifully pale in comparison to Sony and Nintendo's output. Even Halo 5 was underwhelming. Let's hope the Xbox Series X is a hit because Microsoft really needs it right now.
That means all of you Xbox fans will get more new innovative games than ever before.
Number 4. Bethesda.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Bethesda has been slammed with negative press in recent years, owing primarily to its weak creative output and numerous business blunders. The fact that they tried to push paid mods twice despite community backlash the first time speaks for itself. As far as the games go, well, while their titles can be absolute marvels, even their best works are known for lacking polish.
Pelagius is finally ready to love himself and continue hating everyone else.
Said lack of polish has now caught up to them with Fallout 76, and it wasn't just the game that was a disaster. Bethesda totally bundled the rollout with nylon bags, moldy helmets, and a data breach, just to name a few blunders. Seriously, what happened to you guys?
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Number 3. Konami. Much like Atari, Konami was a certifiable powerhouse throughout the 80s and 90s. You couldn't step into an arcade without witnessing a Konami machine of some kind. But recently, things have gone bad. Really bad. 2015 in particular was an atrocious year for the Konami brand, as they abruptly cancelled PT and abandoned Kojima Productions, in turn making their own barren shell of a Metal Gear title. Then there's reports that they treat their employees like utter filth. They allegedly refused health insurance, banned people from mentioning Konami on their resumes, and threatened lawsuits to media personalities who interviewed ex-employees. And that's all before we get into discussing their pachinko machines. I think a hashtag is due here.
I'm talking while the fine, upstanding folks got their welfare cut, got their jobs pulled out from under us.
Number 2. Activision. Okay, there's certainly a lot that can be said about the yearly releases of Call of Duty or Madden, or perhaps even rushing out the buggy Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 just to hang on to the license. However, their business strategies in recent years have also garnered controversy, and it's not just coming from gamers. In February 2019, the company laid off over 800 employees despite also announcing record profits in an investor call. This was further aggravated by the news that a month earlier, the new CFO Dennis Durkin was given a $15 million bonus just for taking the job. That same year, advocacy group As You Sow listed the company's CEO, Bobby Kotick, as the most overpaid CEO out of any gaming company and the 45th most overpaid CEO in all of America. That speaks for itself.
Less than a minute, soldier.
Want more video game content? Check out our gaming channel Mojo Plays and discover games and ideas you never knew existed. With more lists, breakdowns, and our latest series, Arcade Roulette.
Justin and John are in!
Oh.
Hey, is that Porky Pig? There's a lot of things being ripped off in this game.
And in a surprise to no one, number 1, EA. I mean, of course it's EA. How could it not be EA? This company painfully sums up everything that people hate about the video game industry. Like Activision, their CEO, Andrew Wilson, has also been labelled as one of the most overpaid CEOs in America. They too have also been criticised in the past for poor working conditions. The implementation of loot boxes in Star Wars Battlefront 2 caused governments around the world to change their gambling laws. Not to mention their habit to constantly acquire and kill beloved companies. Hell, we have a list for that very issue alone. In 2012 and 2013, they were named the consumerists' worst company in America back to back, meaning they were more hated than Comcast or Bank of America. I mean, is it really any surprise they topped this list?
So what we look at as surprise mechanics.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.